Leisure Suit Larry Wet Dreams Don't Dry is the 8th installment in the series. But Kyle, what about Magna Cum Laude, or Box Office Bust? Like I said, it's the 8th game following Love for Sale. Leisure Suit Larry started out way back in 1987 with Land of the Lounge Lizards. It's been 22 years since we've gotten a proper Larry game, and without the help of Al Lowe. Is Wet Dreams Don't Dry more of a looking for love, or is it another box office bust? Let's find out in the latest episode of Kind of Late Reviews. Larry Laffer, not to be confused with Larry Lovage, wakes up in what looks like a dark room. And once he finds his way out, it turns out it was the sewer. He emerges to the surface, and he finds himself in good old Lost Wages, in front of the best bar in town, Lefty's. After going inside and talking to a woman with a strange glowing box in her hand, and then Lefty himself, it turns out that Larry has been missing for quite some time. Yet, he hasn't aged a day for some reason, which we never truly find out why. Shortly after that, he finds this world's version of the Apple iPhone's newest model from a company called Prune, and his adventure starts. This is where he finds out about the Tinder equivalent app called Timber to bang as many women as possible to get a high score to land his dream girl Faith, not to be confused with the Faith he dated in the first game. The cast of characters is quite interesting. Each person is disgusted or intrigued with Larry in their own way, yet he always finds himself helping them and getting help in return. He even has his own AI in his phone, and she has her own personality, and also seems to find Larry disgusting at times. When Larry talks to many of the people in this time, he finds himself at a loss. The change in lingo and technology is so vast from 30 plus years ago that it's a lot like your grandparents when you try to explain to them that Fortnite is a video game and not a means of time. The writing for this game is great. If you don't find yourself laughing a few times throughout playing this game, then you either have never played a Leisure Suit Larry game, or you don't find adult sexual humor funny, and in which case, this is not the game for you. The game is not afraid to make fun of itself and the ways Larry handles certain things, like storing everything in his leisure suit, including things like beer. The art for Leisure Suit Larry Wet Dreams Don't Dry is interesting. Larry is thinner and less balding than his previous iterations. He looks kind of like a goofy character, which fits the theme of his character all too well. The other characters are just as interesting. BJ, the Steve Jobs of this world, looks like a rich leader of the tech world. Lefty has a glass eye and looks as crazy as he sounds sometimes. All the other characters are visually interesting and creative as well, showing that the team behind this game actually cares about the series. The environments for this game are wonderful, from Lefty's bar feeling new and old at the same time to a gigantic phallic building representing the ego that BJ has as the genius of our time. The buildings are easy to see, and the ones that you go to draw your attention to them. The interiors of the buildings are just as interesting, with a hipster joint showing all those hipster things that hipsters do. Did I hit my hipster quota for this review? My favorite building is Lefty's. There's just so much interesting things to see in that bar. From the main bar, to the bathroom, to the back room, all the way up to the room that you can rent from above. The sound design of this game is great, and the music fits the areas. The intro is a remix of the original intro from Lounge Lizard. Each song feels crafted delicately for the area Larry is in. Sound effects feel like something you would hear in a Larry game. Things like doors opening to the sound Larry makes when he's combining items in his pocket. The area where this game truly shines is the voice acting. It's all done really well. Each actor seems to really care about their performance, including the original voice actor of Larry himself, Jan Rabson. The fact that the developers of the game listened to the fans and got Jan on board to voice Larry shows their dedication to making a great Leisure Suit Larry game. The gameplay is an adventure game, meaning you talk to people for clues, you click on everything to hear its explanation, and pick up everything your kleptomaniac Leisure Suit wearing hands can grab. Then you either use, give, or combine it with other items to solve puzzles and progress the story. The game contains an array of areas for Larry to explore. The entire game can be played using only the mouse. Click somewhere, Larry will walk there. Click on someone, he will talk to them. I'll click on things and people to hear what Larry thinks of the item. Some of the puzzles in this game are difficult, and once you find them out by clicking on every pixel on the screen to find the small item you missed, you end up feeling like, why didn't I try that before? Or, why didn't I see that before? Thankfully, developers thought ahead and added an everything on screen that can be clicked on button. They just don't tell you about it in any of the shortcut buttons, so I will. Aside from left and right click, you can also use the scroll wheel to access your inventory, making the constant click, 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 try something else move faster. Also, you can hold down the middle mouse button to show all interactable objects on the screen. Lastly, you can also double click on doors to make your character warp there and just have to do less walking. It would have been nice to have been told about these things in the game, even as a hint from Lefty. but instead, kind of found them out from other people and accidentally pressing the wrong buttons at the right time. Any issues I have with this game are all minor and mostly fall on my inability to think outside of the box or very literal about the puzzle at hand. I had only one technical issue, that was after answering the age security questions to play the actual game, which, if you don't know what that means, the original games had you answering questions to prove you were old enough to play these games. Anyway, the game crashed hard and took the Steam launcher with it. After rebooting it and answering, again, those questions, which some of them were really hard, even for somebody who's like me, who's 28 years old. But if you ever feel stuck in the game, then just take a minute and just look at things from a different perspective, or combine everything in your inventory because maybe you missed something. And eventually, you'll figure it out, and you'll feel much better about it instead of looking it up in a guide. Leisure Suit Larry: Wet Dreams Never Dry is another pun on titles in the series that feels like the next installment in the long-running and lost series. It's nice to see the developers over at Assembly Games actually cared about this game succeeding and making it worth your hard-earned cash. The art is great eye candy, the sound design and the voice acting are all up to par, and the gameplay is what you would expect from an adventure game. While it does have some faults, it's easy to overlook these things from such a great game. If you enjoyed any or all the other Leisure Suit Larry games, then you owe it yourself to play this game at least once. I played the latest Leisure Suit Larry game on Steam. I played using a mouse, I beat the whole game in a single night over 14 hours, and I got some help from a viewer who also played the game at the same time, and we did kind of a give or take to figure the game out together. Thank you for your time, I appreciate you valuing my opinion of this game. If you liked this video, don't forget to subscribe for more, hit that like button, it helps out the channel, share this video with your friends, family, heck, even your pets. Let me know what you think about Leisure Suit Larry: Wet Dreams Don't Dry in the comments below. I'm already late for my next review, see you then.